Well, after a week where we didn't see much betting volume, it has returned for the 2026 Cadillac Championship. I am Logan, otherwise known as WizBetz, back here with TMD Props after a slow betting weekend. How are you doing, my guy?
Yeah, it was slow. It feels like the last time we actually concentrated on betting was forever ago. I know we gave a little stab at it for the Zurich, but not much you can do, honestly. And then the Fitzpatricks end up winning it anyways, and it's like I wish we kind of just were basic and took the brothers like we talked about. But
I mean,
yeah,
you hyped them up in the entire show. And there were some other people you gave love to that did okay, but I mean, rounds 1 through 4, it was pretty clear Fitzpatrick's were the favorites and going to win the whole thing, right?
yeah, I think especially after they killed it on alt shot on Friday, I was like, I put it in the Discord. I said, right now I can't see it any other way. I don't know how they're still plus 500. I think it was just a great timing. Then yeah, best ball, they killed it again on Saturday, and it wasn't even a question at the end.
Yeah. For the people unaware of how that works now, so obviously Fitzpatrick, this is what his third win of the year, second or third.
Yeah, third in the last 4 weeks.
Okay. Um, what happens to Alex now by him getting his tour card?
Well, he's in the field this week. He's going to have eligibility through 2028, and he's just going to have more and more opportunity to get points, stay, qualify for majors. Um, and it's just big for his career. I know that he was trying to grind it out in the DP World Tour, and he would have gotten here anyways. Honestly, like I'd say like everyone's saying like Matt got him the tour card. It's not true. He would have gotten it anyways, but it's just fun to get it officially with your brother. So he'll be on tour now.
I think it just expedites his career a little bit. You know, it starts it a little bit
Totally.
earlier than maybe it should have or was predicted to. Correct?
Yeah, it just now he's in it. He's gonna get the whole rest of the year to go kill it and rack up some points. And I'm actually really excited just to see because I don't really follow the DP World Tour a lot. Um, so it's gonna be exciting to see him like another a brother on the course.
Yeah. Wait for next year, man. Maybe we'll get you doing everything golf related. All right, let's move on to this weekend, though. We got the Cadillac Championship. At first, I want to shout out The Model by TMD, man. You've been doing great work on this. The Twitter boys have been loving it. So we'll reference this back in a second, but there's going to be a few names on here that really surprised some people. But we're back in Miami, man. Been 10 years since we were down in Miami for the Cadillac Championship, Trump International. Um, really difficult course. Would you say this is top three most difficult courses in the PGA Tour?
I don't know if I'd have like officially slide it top three. Definitely top 10. I think it's one of the challenging courses that is for one particular reason, which is probably its length just to begin with. But the hazards and all of the different trouble that you find, like on a random hole when you're struggling, like I think it makes rounds kind of run away from you. So, um, definitely interesting to see who performs because it's no cut as well. And so I'm a bit interested to see how this all plays out. It's just yeah, like high water danger is always interesting. We saw Shane Lowry just throw a tournament away earlier this year. I think it just leaves a lot happen, and so I bet there's going to be a lot of scoring. Honestly, like I know that the weather's looking really nice, so the greens might run a little fast, and I know a couple people were saying that might lead to a bit of lower scoring, but I actually think that guys are going to do pretty well. It's just there's going to be a pile of guys down at the bottom that are just doing atrocious, and you'll see some low lights on Twitter.
Well, I actually wanted to ask you about that because the weather is really good this weekend. From a round to round betting perspective, would you rather have clear skies or predictive bad weather as terms of wind or rain?
Honestly, I'd much rather have wind here this week and maybe just some overcast. Actually, I'd rather it be really sunny, warm, but really windy.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I can really put angles to work on guys who might do bad. Um, I feel like there's just a lot of easy fades once you incorporate like high winds, and then obviously there's like tough runoffs too. So guys who are bad at scrambling, like just over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that the lines are at a point where you can fade some of the golfers at the bottom because I've like you said, this is a no cut tournament, so we're gonna get 4 rounds of every single golfer, no matter what, even the ones that are struggling. Um, from round to round, I think this could legit be one of the more profitable tournaments we've had on the year.
I would agree. Hopefully, we just we don't let Thursday kind of run away in terms of like going all in on an idea. I think that's been probably my biggest flaw. Like
If
looking at
we're gonna lab either tonight or tomorrow. If you tell me you're playing more than 3 plays, I'm gonna ban you from the Discord. It's just gonna happen.
yeah, we're gonna keep it light. I mean, I think I have a couple ideas in mind, and it would really only go overboard if they give me greens and reg.
That's what I was
If
about to
draft
say, man. If we get Greens and Reg, man, we're cooking this weekend. As we'll
Jim,
mention it, we'll mention it right now because that actually brings up the next point that I wanted to discuss, which is the fact that the course has changed slightly. Can you talk about Blue Monster just a little bit? I know you mentioned it in your tour talk about how the scrambling here could be difficult, especially the water that's been added. I've already see a few places where water has been added. But you could talk about the changes to the course in the last 10 years.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think the biggest goal, uh, Fance, sorry, it's based on his name, Gil Fance. One thing that he tried to change the most is just to make it a little bit harder. I mean, the difficulty wasn't an issue, but to me, but now it's just going to be a whole lot harder. I think that the sustainability of your score is just never going to look too great. And I know that there's a lot of guys that have tendencies to lose themselves in trouble. Obviously, that's a big meme with Jordan Spieth, but there are plenty of other guys that hit almost what I heard. I think it was Ryan Noonan referred to it as like a foul ball. And I agree with that. There's a lot of people who hit foul balls off the tee and just sending it straight to the woods. And here, I mean, with water in play, it's just a disaster. So, with the difficulty being raised, the water kind of expanded, different traps added. It just makes it harder in a no cut to just survive for all those 4 rounds. But at the same time, everyone's subjected to it. So
I like that idea because on the tee, when I hit a foul ball, when I think it's going dead center and then it hooks right 200 yards, I'll just call it a foul ball and I get to hit the ball again for free. So I'm gonna stop.
yeah, no foul outs in golf, man.
I'm gonna use that term going forward. And we'll talk about the golfers that are going to succeed here. But it's been a theme in April that the par five people are going to succeed a lot. But because of the Bermuda greens, you're actually interested in putting a little bit on this course, correct?
Yeah, the three putt avoidance, which is not something I talk about too much. I know that it's definitely a factor when you look at like Augusta. Just quicker greens that can be kind of troublesome. I know that on certain par threes and par fours, like you watch guys just consistently bogey when they're not on their game in lag putting. Even something as far as like 5 feet past the hole, it can just destroy golfers' brains. It looks like, at least. So being able to have good lag putting is gonna play a lot into just avoiding bad scores. When you're not actually getting it in the water. But like, I look at that as this is probably the biggest example of when we would use three putt avoidance. I feel
If
definitely
only,
right
if,
here. So
if only you liked Harry Hall, man. If only you liked him. This
it's
would
not going to
be
be too bad this week.
all
The
right.
approach has to be there. Everything else is great for all
Which
of this
on
week.
a par five long course, that's not really a course that I really like a lot for him. I'll be interested to see how he does round one, and then maybe target him for some round betting. But we'll see, because he didn't play too bad in the Masters, I thought.
I actually have no clue. I think I saw him when I was camping in the 456. I was camping on 456 for like a lot of the Masters, and I would see him come by, and I'd go, "Hey,
Oh,
let's
there
see."
he is.
But he gained on approach.
Hmm.
That's something.
Hey, that's
And this is a comp
progress.
course to the Arnold Palmer, and he finished T9. So
So, all right, I want to start focusing on golfers now, and we're going to structure it a little bit differently this week because I feel like at times we just talk about the golfers that we like, and we just talk about some of the top tier guys. So we will do that, but we're going to separate into three different sections. We're going to talk about the golfers that we like. I'm going to ask you to give me three names of people that you're targeting this week. Three golfers to avoid just because their play style is maybe a little bit inconsistent for a course like this. And then three guys that you might see TMD and I fade over the week. So I want to start off with, God, I want to say this is our most bet player in the last few weeks. Talking about Cam Young. Tell me a little bit about why Cam Young might be a value this week.
yeah, he's the model darling. He is number one on a lot of people's boards. He's second in betting odds, I believe, currently. And if Scotty was one of those big names to drop out, he'd be the favorite. So Cam Young has everything you need. He has that edge when it comes to the driving distance, but he also has the control not only off the tee but on long iron shots. Good from close, and like the putting is typically a strength of his. So when you add everything together, like if scrambling's on, this dude's gonna really roll. If he can avoid bad scores as well. This
Best,
year has been
best,
on a tear.
best putting green by far is Bermuda currently for Cameron Young.
Yeah, so you factor that in, it just looks even better. So it's hard not to be confident in him. I know everyone's kind of on him. The odds are terrible. You can't even really take much. I think it's like a pick 'em if you do top 10. It's like plus 100 even. So not much going for him there in the markets that we usually like to attack, but I would just be surprised if he wasn't, finishing pretty high up this tournament.
And again, if he's at least getting a stroke or two behind Scotty Scheffler lines round to round, he'll be a value because we value him more than Scotty this weekend, correct?
We do. For sure we do.
Yeah. Somebody we faded in the Masters bit us in the butt a little bit because either he wasn't as hurt as we thought he was, or hey, maybe he's just that good. With a tournament that doesn't have the star power that normal signatures do, Colin Morikawa might be somebody to be interested in.
Yeah, super accurate. I mean, it's just the best feature of his game this year. Um, Super accurate from the ranges that we need him to be, which is stellar. I mean, obviously the chipping has been kind of a worrisome thing over the past couple of years, but we've seen him kind of dial it in recently. And same goes with the putting. It is something to be worrisome about, but again, recently it's been a lot better and it's brought him a lot of success, especially there at the Masters, where again, like you got to three putt well. So I like Colin. I always think he's a great safety valve. He finishes well just because he's so polished. And as long as he brings it around the green, like he has in all these good finishes, you see him gaining strokes and all. As long as he doesn't blow up there, he's got a really consistent profile that can compete in so many different high difficulty courses. So I do like Colin Morikawa this week a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if he's getting a good top 20 odds, especially with a 74 player field, 74 or 72?
Yeah, 72.
72. So with a 72 player field, him finishing in the top 30, 35% of golfers, I mean, I'm going to be interested in what all those lines look like when we talk about that in a second. But there's one guy that we really targeted, especially on the Hawaii run and the West Coast run. Haven't considered him in the last few weeks. But when we talk about golfers that might take advantage with a weaker signature field, at plus 3,100 right now, I feel like I haven't taken a look. You're a little bit more in tune with what the community is playing. I'd have to imagine Siwoo is a community darling right now.
That actually is such a good question. I wonder if the tipster accounts, what is that even called? It's like most tipped. I'm gonna
Yeah,
Google that.
most tipped, most capped, something like that.
All right. Oh, he dropped it 3 hours ago. Ah, Siwoo is not even on the top eight. He's not even on the wheel.
Okay, so
That's pretty
you
surprising.
haven't targeted Siwoo when he is in the top 8 most tipped. Is this a week where
Right.
you can finally maybe get good value on him then?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't hate his number. All the other ones that I'm looking at this like most tipped list, like they're not the craziest of numbers. And it's really hard in a 72 man field um to get a really dicey number like in a signature event. Like it's just that they're gonna price good golfers in a way that you don't like them. So I think at whatever he is, 30 to 1 or sorry, I'm sick. 28 to 1, 29 to 1.
I have him at 31 to 1 on some books.
So that's like, I mean, if you're getting any like Siwoo at that point, like Goddard, Nap, something like that, like anybody in that mid range of like 30, 40 to 1, like I would say pull the trigger on one of those. I think it's going to be a good, not a great golfer that wins. I think we're going to get a shock value one here.
And we'll talk about that more when we get to our like official betting predictions. And you have one official play right now, a top 30 that we'll talk about.
Do I do.
We're gonna stay talking about that golfer to the very end. He's not even gonna be in our golfers to target, fade, or whatever. So we'll talk about him when we get there. But we're gonna talk about golfers to avoid. And again, this is not golfers like we like. These aren't even golfers we dislike. These are just golfers that maybe don't have the best read. Do you kind of want to describe what golfers are going to fit into this category going forward?
Yeah, I would almost categorize it as guys who are appealing. Like the ones who you feel like you should be betting on, but I'm just not taking into consideration for a full round bet. And I'm also, you know, presenting that you shouldn't be falling in love with any of these guys. And it's due to the same thing mostly, but just guys that make me a little scared.
Well, par five, darling, one of the best driving distance guys in the entire field. Disappointed me in the Masters, that's for sure. Nikolai Højgaard. Now, hypothetically, this should be a course that he goes out there and he has top 10 potential in. But what are the downsides of Højgaard this weekend?
A little bit erratic off the tee, can spray it in bad moments, and it's just not one of those courses for it. I'm not going to trust a guy who I don't really trust off the tee with this much water danger. I also just think that there are better players in the field, not to, rip on him, but he's a great target when he's one of the better guys on the field, anywhere from like the top 10 to the top 20. And it happens, but here's just not one of those, moments. I'm not going to try to say that I like him over, all these other guys. What would it be if I took him like top 20? I don't really love him over 52 guys. I think he finishes somewhere around in that 30-40 range, so I'm not really sniffing it, but I think he's going to lose some strokes off the tee, doing some dumb stuff, and I'll be heartbroken. But whenever I say this about him, he goes on a tear. So do that. Take that as you will.
He's got to be the better Højgaard brother first before we back him again.
He's been this year. He's been really. I'm really proud of him. I'm just also scared that he's gonna like mess with me because he
Well,
has.
one veteran that you've talked a lot about, you've gushed about a few times. We took him in a cut parlay a couple weeks ago. But Adam Scott, this is another tournament I feel like Scott would be pretty good in.
I mean, he's the last winner here. So I do sound really stupid saying don't bet on Adam Scott. I think he's been had a nice little resurgence this year. He's been playing good golf and obviously has played well in the comp courses that we talk about. He has a lot of the skills that you need. He's been great on approach this year. I almost think this is probably this, I don't want to call it a stupid one, but like first clicks, I'm like, oh, I'm taking Adam Scott. And then I look into it and I'm like, ooh, I think people should actually stay away from Adam Scott. And I think the biggest reason is also just the driving accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that combined with I'm not really in love with the short game, so his chipping is totally up and down, and I don't necessarily love where the putting's been. So for that reason, I'm out on Adam Scott, but he is a really good golfer, and I will be supporting him later on.
The worst feeling in MLB betting is when you take a guy's over outs and he has like 35 pitches through 3 innings. And in the fourth inning, he gives up 3 runs, takes 35, 40 pitches to get through the inning, and then he's just rattled the rest of the game. That's going to happen this weekend with some golfers where they're going to go out there, they're going to be like 4 under on the turn, and then either on 10 or 12, they're going to shank a drive into the water.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
And they're going to get OBs and they're going to get double bogeys, and you're just going to be like, I looked for 1 second, he was at 4 under, and now he's at near even par. What the hell happened? Like, that's going to happen so much this weekend.
Oh yeah.
One more guy. I don't think we've really given Kudic a highlight in any of our shows. Is that correct?
We've briefly talked about Pearson Cootie here and there, but he hasn't been highlighted. This is a guy that I also just don't. For the same reason as Adam Scott. Like I don't really trust the driving accuracy, but more so I don't really trust that short game. It was definitely dialed early on in the season, especially on that like Hawaii swing that we had, and then moving into the West Coast. But I just really I've hated the short game as a whole. I know you're seeing a lot of like bad ARG numbers there, but it's also been the putting. Like I'm just not a fan of it. And when you combine it with the driving accuracy, it's like that's the profile that I'm kind of scared of. So I'm staying away from Pearson Cootie this week. It's not like I'm typically on him or anything, or he's some like high end golfer, but I do know that a lot of people are targeting him because of his driving distance and because he's good on par fives. I'm saying pump the brakes a little bit. I think there are other guys that you can go for.
We talked about in the Masters on how when the field gets really good, some golfers that have had good finishes just really struggle against the best of the best. And in a signature event, it just looks like Cootie's really struggled in these signature event and big field strength matchups. And then you look at some of the tournament history he's had this year. I mean, players missed the cut. Arnold Palmer, signature event, missed the cut. Houston Open withdrew. And then the tournaments he does well in, like the Farmers, Amex, Sony, Genesis, I think was his best in comparison to what his projection was. But like, I'm not wrong in saying that about him, correct?
Yeah, he's definitely been a little bit disappointing after he caught fire early on. I think yeah, once we hit, I want to say even like Phoenix, like after
Phoenix was
the
good.
immediately after Phoenix, it was like, is Pearson Cootie ever going to cool down? And then he like immediately did. So it was like, oh,
Mm-hmm. All right, so those are three guys to avoid, and that's basically being like even if they're doing well or they are struggling throughout the week, just because of their inconsistency, might not be players that were really on our radar whatsoever. But now we're getting to three golfers that we want you to start fading. How are you going to target golfers like this in the course of this week?
I think it's that fundamental, art of doing well at a PGA course. Like you need to be pretty dialed in with your irons. You need to be good on approach. And if you don't have that, and you also don't have one of the things that makes me scared, then I just hate your profile. Like if you're bad on approach, you're not accurate off the tee, and you have any short game weakness, even if it's really good in one of the two areas, I'm just gonna fade you because you're gonna get yourself into trouble. And I love trouble when I can bet on it happening.
Well, speaking of trouble, let's talk about Ben Griffin, man. You want to talk about somebody that could collapse at any moment? That's Ben Griffin.
He's been really good, and he is honestly what I would call a safer golfer. It's just as he's playing right now, I don't love it. Like this isn't 2025 Ben Griffin. 2025 Ben Griffin is the opposite. But here I just haven't loved his approach this season. And also like I mentioned it a couple weekends ago, but like his driving has taken a turn, and that was the kind of adjustment that he made to be better. And so now when you take both those things away, and it's kind of hard for him to gain off the tee, you're just making it harder for yourself on longer courses. And this one's very long. So I was very surprised to see him do well at his first Masters. That was interesting. I didn't want to be a hater, but I I didn't really get how he played so well because he was kind of nails for a while. But here, I can't back the inaccuracy. I can't back the way that the approach game's been. And then when you combine that with, he doesn't have an explosive putter, and it's not even one of those areas where you can't have an explosive putter. So I'm out on Ben Griffin. I know he's relatively up there on the board, but I would say just completely avoid him in DFS too.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, we're not saying Ben Griffin's going to go out there and miss the cut because you can't miss the cut. We're not saying he's going to finish bottom 10, bottom 20. But compared to expectation on where the books currently have him right now, that could be a situation where it's if he's getting lines similar to Morikawa, Siwoo Kim, etc. Those might be some interesting overs, and especially some good green and regulation lines if he's getting anywhere near that, because he's going to be priced like some of the big guns, correct?
Up there. I mean, definitely. like kind of a baseline number that we're going to be able to use. Hopefully, it's not like too juiced in a direction, but he'll have odds.
Mhm. Next guy, Keegan Bradley. I'm actually interested in your reasoning here because I actually really liked him at the RPC Heritage. I thought he played well. And then you want to talk about guys that really surprised at the Masters? I was shocked at how consistent Keegan Bradley was in those 4 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not very great. That's how I would put Keegan Bradley. I don't think that he's going to excel.
One top 20 finish in 9 starts this year.
It's just, yeah, I mean, he was great last year. He's awesome. But just another one of those guys where I'm like, you just kind of lost your spark. And as a result, it's like, I'm not going to trust you when you're not striking the ball well. His ball striking hasn't been great. Um, and unless he like really picks it up in another area, he's not like a super strong. He's not a bomber golfer. He's not going to be able to take, a better angle to try to get an advantage. He's not going to do any of these things, and if he tries, he'll fail. It's just he's not priced crazy. Like it's not like he's like a favorite, but in terms of names, I'm kind of looking down the line and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, we'll throw Keegan into this. If you're trying to scoop up a golfer in the 7,000s for DFS, don't really go Keegan Bradley. I'd say like Harris English would be a better grab. Um, so yeah, if Keegan's in your lineup and you're watching this, take him out because it's just I don't even know why he's there in the first place.
Well, I was about to mention Harris English, and you're saying scoop him up. How do you feel about English this weekend? Because I personally wasn't a big fan of him.
Who am I? Oh my gosh, Keith Mitchell. Sorry, I've been doing
Yeah,
that
I was
for
very confused. I'm like, why are you hyping up Harris English?
dude. I don't know what the weird thing is. I did this a couple weeks ago too. I like typed out. I was taking Keith Mitchell and I typed Harris English, and then I was like, wait, I don't like Harris English today. And then I like looked back. I was like, it's because I didn't take it. Like what?
Okay, so to be clear, do you hate Harris English or Keith Mitchell?
Harris.
Okay,
I'm
thank you. All right, so you're staying at that plus 7,000 range, going back to oh man, back to Keegan Bradley. We're talking about players around the plus 7,000 range. Keith Mitchell is around that range. You're slightly interested in Mitchell at that price, but then when we get to Harris English, you're not interested. Am I correct
right.
on that?
Precisely, and it
Okay.
comes to because they are two. They've had separate successes on approach. Harris English has not impressed me at all with his ball striking. I do know that he has the driving distance to compete here, and I don't necessarily think that he's going to do terrible. But I'm fading just because I can't trust how he's been on approaches here. I can't trust how he's been from close. Like it's the short approach shots and around the green overwhelming. And I do have a feeling that it's gonna really come into play for guys who, aren't striking it well, that you're gonna have to be good from close. And to have a golfer with the profile of isn't the best on irons, but then also has been bad from like 50 to 100. Kind of a scary combination there. And I know he's been doing like pretty good finish wise. It's just, I'm not necessarily going to be as high on Harris English as the books are and as he's priced on DFS sites.
Because in my mind, when I think about somebody like English, you that's English is basically the perfect golfer for you to hate. Somebody who's really, really good at putting, but doesn't have high driving distance and doesn't ball strike well. You combine all three of those things, that's like the last golfer that TMD wants to watch.
Geez. You got another one that's like that? Anybody come to mind?
Ooh, I mean,
Anybody with a fun hat?
don't talk about my boy like
Yeah,
that. Don't
exactly. Walked
don't.
into that one.
I know I walked into that one, but
Describe your favorite golfer, man. Although
this
Harry was nails last year. He was great.
yeah, he was good for like the first 3 tournaments during like the Hawaii run, and then just kind of
He'll
falling
probably do
back
the
into.
same thing this year,
Yeah.
honestly. And then at the end of
What
the
do you
year, I
mean?
think
There's
he
no more Hawaii run.
true. You actually just reminded me of that. Yeah,
Makes
West Coast, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's since the Phoenix Open that he's really just fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, I actually kind of liked him in that one too, but no, he was.
I did as well, man. It's so upsetting. So those are three golfers we like, three golfers to avoid, and then three golfers to fade. We're gonna end this in a second with our draft, which I am so excited about because I need revenge. Because Højgaard screwed me at the Masters, man. But Marco ended up clutching for me, so we'll call it a draw on the
That is,
Masters.
it's crazy they did. I was like, dude, what are you
Oh, he was
doing?
cooking. He was cooking. You want to talk about a golfer that fell off the face of the earth? That was Marco. I loved it. But let's talk about your official play. You've posted one to the Discord. If you want full access to every golf play that we do this weekend, make sure you're signed up for the WizCord. Go to TMDProps' page. He's got discount codes out the wazoo. Make sure you pay attention to him. But let's start. You're going top 30, correct?
Yeah, really good value. Top 30 on Akshay. I wish it could be another guy. I do. Like not that I'm not confident in Akshay, but like there's so many good golfers on this board. But when I scrolled down enough, I was like, it is really weird that we're getting Akshay at this number. When you look at the guys around, like, sure, you got Shane, and like if Sepp catches fire and like holds it together on a Sunday, he'll finish top 30. I do like Kitayama, but it's just the odds. Like the odds, I'm not willing to trust Shane and Sepp because they're Sunday disasters, but I'm not willing to buy up to like, maybe a Kitayama or even like Ricky. Akshay's perfect because he models so well. He fits the course comp. He has the win at API. Now he can't be as bad off the tee as he was there, or else he won't get it done. But have that like spike ability with the short game, but just also be a pretty sound ball striking golfer. Um, I love Akshay, and he's great on Bermuda. Always a nice plus.
I mean, he is number 4 in your model this weekend, only behind Nap, Siwoo, and Yun, which are all guys that you like. Um, I I would classify Akshay very the opposite, which we talk about some of our fade golfers in terms of I don't know if he has the upside to win this tournament, but he has the consistency to not have a blow up round on a tough course like this. Like, how many blow up rounds has Akshay had in the last few months?
I don't know. I mean, he wasn't like stellar at the Masters, but
There wasn't a round that he had like a 76 or above, right? Or am I wrong on that?
not sure. Definitely can't remember off the top of my head. Doesn't look like he was good round one of the Farmers. That could be something to look at. But he started the year Amex cut, Farmers cut. So you never know. Could have been one of those two. I wasn't like closely looking,
He
but
missed he
since
missed the
then he's
cut,
been great.
and then in round two he had an opportunity to make the cut, and he double bogeyed on 18 to miss the cut in the Masters. So he finished with a 77. But again, that's the Masters. Was he a debutante?
No,
No, he wasn't. No. But yeah, Akshay top 30. You got him at what minus 120?
yeah, around there, minus 118, I think. But that was
Gotcha.
yesterday.
So hey, CLV. Wow, CLV Gain's gonna love you for that one. But I'm interested to talk about some top 20 guys. We didn't really get the chance to talk about Jake Knapp, but this is another guy you're interested in, correct?
Yeah, I mean, a guy that's killed it all year. Good finishes all around. Um, Great on approach, great putting, great bogey avoidance. Great, he's honestly he's not an inaccurate driver. Possesses everything you need. He's good around the greens for what it's worth, like good enough for me at least. And so I think when you look at his profile altogether, he's just kind of a stud. And I feel like this is the week where he really earns it back and starts to put himself on the map even more than he already has. Because these longer courses, like I think he loves them and he's gonna feed off of it. So I'm excited to see Jake Knapp this week. There's not always a ton of golfers that I'm like really excited for, and I want them to succeed. I want Jake Knapp to win this one. Really, like he's gonna be very very good for a long time if he can keep up this sort of spunk that he's got going on.
There are three things that are super consistent when it comes to the PGA. Scotty will always be the favorite in a tournament. Tiger will have a career-ending incident every 5 years, and Russell Henley will finish top 20 in an event. Is there any reason not to take Henley this week?
No, Henley's just a perfect, well-rounded beast. Like him and Kawa are just the same to me. Like, um, the API comp is so great for Russ because that's like his course. Like he's so nasty there, and the way that he can score on every type of hole makes him a constant threat. Like he's whatever he is, like top 15 or something, and
Mm.
par three, par four, and par five scoring. Like the dude's just an animal. So gets after it. He can get kind of angry sometimes, but if he keeps it together, puts well, he's a demon.
I wanted to mention that when we were talking about the preview of the course, because this isn't a place we've golfed in the last 10 years. If people are looking at historical data at other courses, is there any that you would recommend off the top of your head?
If you're looking for outrights, I'd say look at Augusta. But if you're looking for placement, I would look at something like Bay Hill.
Bay Hill, gotcha. Just looking at this leaderboard a little bit right now, I mean, a lot of things are standing out to me, at least top 20 wise. Kitayama at plus 108 for top 20 is slightly interesting, especially including ties. I know you hate Jacob Bridgman, but you know that he's going to play well this week.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I think he'll do just fine. I don't have a great read on Bridgman this week, but he's
You
been a
never
guy
have a
who's
good read on Bridgman. You like,
super consistent. So
yeah, the Bridgman gang's been on your butt about not backing him. I'm
yeah,
going to be joining the Bridgman gang if he does well this weekend. I'm just letting you know.
have fun.
Other names that stand out to me. I know you didn't like Shane Lowry. He's around that area. I probably wouldn't touch him. But we're getting towards like
I
the
like
bottom
Shane.
guys.
It's just you can't bet him to win.
No, no, no. Certain things
Gary
interesting.
Woodland, Corey
Gary Woodland's a
Connors.
little interesting. Yeah. Nick Taylor. Talk about a guy that had a good Hawaii run. Nick Taylor. Any rate on him, or is this just somebody you're not looking at whatsoever?
Not at all. He just hasn't been striking it well. He's down at the bottom for a reason.
Gotcha. So we talked about some of the guys that we liked. Cameron Young. I would say outside of Scotty, he's the one guy that has odds that I would consider. Man, I think maybe you hope that Cam Young maybe has a mediocre round one to bet him because at 1275, that's a tough price to attack him. But hey, your model has predict. What is it? Is this 3 straight weeks? The winner has been in the top 2.
Yeah, yeah. It's been pretty consistent. So Cam Young, Siwoo, take them both,
I
man.
want to mention Siwoo. So he's down to 2600 on DK. I'll take a look and see what he is on some other books. But if you can get him for like 30, 31, is that worth an outright to you?
Totally. I definitely think it is. Siwoo's got to get a dub.
Another couple of outrights that stand out to me, at least. I think Kitayama is slightly interesting at 3,900. We didn't talk. We've mentioned him now and again, but again, the ball. If you're talking about ball striking, I mean Kitayama's up there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just super solid, especially from like longer ranges. I just think he fits the proximity profiles pretty well, and that always gives him an edge on these longer courses for me.
Why do you hate Hideki? Why do you hate him now? He was your most
I
profitable
don't.
guy in the Hawaii run, and now you just decided I don't want to talk about him anymore.
I'm really good at reading Hideki. So if my senses are correct once again, he will give you just a real honest T31 this week.
T31. If you get within 5 of that, I will call you the Hideki Whisperer. Okay.
Okay, I have so that's a
So
range.
are you going 31 or do you want to change your guess?
No, I'll go 31. So if
Okay, so
it's
26 to
26 or
30,
36.
26 to 36. If it gets within that range, you're the Whisperer. Okay.
That's a guarantee. That's a Charles Barkley guarantee.
Okay. Wow. If you're talking about guys that you're liking at about plus 7,000, I mean, this feels like really good value right now.
I feel like if Rio plays his game, he'll be in it and then hopefully can just watch someone collapse. Like
Mm.
this, Rio could pull a Nico Echeverria right now and just kind of keep it up there, and then the guy in first just floods it. So maybe. But I really like Gary Woodland too. Maybe not to win. I don't know if he'll pick up 2 wins in a year. That'd be crazy, but love him.
I mean, top 10 with including ties is plus 435 right now. I feel like that's pretty
That's a
good.
great. If you want to, full disclosure. If you want a bet that's like plus 400, Take that. That's a great bet.
That's a
This
fun
quick,
bet
can
to
I play
watch too,
with it?
because he
Yeah.
could be like 20, 25 range in round 4, and then here, let me put it back up. He could be in
Oh,
the 20-25 range in round 4, and then go off. Ooh,
yeah,
hey,
exactly.
it might be on the official betting card this weekend. I
Dude.
like little stuff like that.
And I think I saw a stat that like before they this course went away, I want to say it was 11 out of the last 18 like top 3 finishers were top 10 in driving distance going into the tournament, and
Hmm.
he is top 10 in that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I like that one a lot. To end it though, we're gonna do the draft, and we're gonna do it in your favorite market. We're going without Scotty. Mainly because we didn't really get to talk about Scotty, but Scotty's not in your top 10 in the model. He's priced like he's supposed to be the overwhelming favorite, but he just isn't in your eyes, right?
well, the model is different than my brain. I value Scotty where he needs to be. Like I think he's probably I would no, he's just easily. I mean, he's easily the best, and he's caught the fire again. So he should be this betting favorite. Although I do love Cam Young this week. He'll be tough to beat again. Like this is a course that suits him very well.
Yeah. So let's do the draft this way. We're not going to include Scotty in it, and we're going to go back and forth. We're not going to do Snake because it's only two of us. And I got to go first in the Masters, so I'm gonna let you go first today. And I'm okay just writing his name down and just saying that's your
Yep,
number one pick.
that's my guy.
Just officially talk about Cameron Young. Just 20 seconds about Cam, or not. Okay.
You need me to
No,
talk about
I don't
Cam?
know. No, I just wanted you to hype up your guys just really quickly, just like summary what we talked about. But it's fine. No, I don't even know.
All around beast. There you go.
There you
That's
go.
my words.
All around beast. Hey, he bit me in the butt in the Masters. I just think Morikawa's ball striking is just going to be too good in this tournament. I think he's one of the safer guys. I think a lot of these guys, the Cam Yuns, the Fleetwoods, the Siwoos, they're going to have extreme upside to win. But if you want a guy that I think is guaranteed to finish near the top of the field, I think Morikawa is going to be that guy this weekend.
Absolutely. I'll take nap on the next one. Give me nap time.
Give me nap time. He ain't going to fall
Yeah.
asleep.
Nope.
And then I'll back one of my favorite guys earlier in the year. We didn't take him the last couple weeks, but it's Siwoo time, man. I think if I had to make an outright bet this weekend, it would be Siwoo at plus one at 130 to 1 odds if I can find it on a sports book. I really like Siwoo.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think next for me here, I mean I gotta be a square. Like I'll take Russ here. I mean, just really good course fit for him.
Yeah, I mean, again, you want to talk about a guy that's
Because he's everywhere.
guaranteed top 20 finish. I mean, check on the official bet card in in a couple in the next day or two. He might be on there. And this is a tough one because after this, we're gonna go with guys that aren't better than plus 3,500. So we're gonna cut off here after Minwoo Lee. So if I want to try and pick one more, I'm debating between Hideki and Maverick because I don't love Goddard. I don't love. I mean, Fleetwood might just be chalk. I mean, if I'm actually trying to win, I would probably grab Fleetwood. But I'm gonna fade the Hideki Whisperer. I think Hideki could have a really good week this week. I think his driving distance has improved in the last couple tournaments. Is that correct for him? He's been
I've not been
oh,
monitoring that.
I believe it's gotten slightly better. I think for par fives, I think Hideki is gonna be a really good option. So right now we got TMD on Cam Yun, Knapp, and Henley. I'm on Morikawa, Siwoo, Kim, and Hideki. I see a trend starting to form. We're gonna go now past the plus 3,500 tier. Anybody you like in this range?
Yeah, give me Kurt Kitayama. Why not?
Damn, I was hoping I'd get Kurt. Damn, good pick. Good pick. I'm going full TMD. He's gonna be so frustrated watching this tournament, man. I can't wait. I'm going Jacob Bridgman.
Yeah,
I'm
if
going.
that's your guy, it's your guy. And then
I think
do we more here?
So now we're gonna go down. We're gonna go anything above plus 6,000 now for the last pick. So a dark horse.
All right. Yeah, I gotta go with Gary then. That's my guy.
You're gonna go with Gary Woodland. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my team's got great driving, like very, very themed up. Aside from maybe Russ in terms of distance.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going real. I think he's got really decent odds. Out of all these long shots, I don't see anyone else besides Gary Woodland getting anywhere near the top 10 outside of Rio. So,
I think Rio's outright odds are about the same as your odds would be to pronounce his last name. Got a shot for us? You gonna do it? It's tough. It took me a couple tries.
I was saying Rio 1,000 times. I was trying not to do this. Hiratsune?
Yeah, super close. Hisatsune.
Hitatsune. Hey, look at that.
Hisatsune or Hisatsune. Some people do say Hisatsune. So it's
do they?
I try to listen in. This is a terrible guy to listen to if you want to know how to pronounce things, but like I try to hear Pat Mayo say it, and he's gotten me through a lot of pronunciations, but a couple of them have been wrong over the years, and it's just it's rough.
Gotcha. So I got Morikawa, Siwoo, Hideki, Bridgman, and Ryu Hisatsune.
Close. It could be way worse. I pronounced Sudarshan Yelamaharju's name wrong yesterday. Put the H in front of the D.
I remember we talked about him during the match. No, you're not tricking me on that one. And then you got Yun, Knapp, Henley, Kitayama, and Woodland. How the scoring is going to work is that we're just going to take their finishes and we're going to add them up and we're going to see who's got the lower score. We're going to play this golf style.
Love that. Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we close out today?
Definitely prioritize driving distance, but understand that this will always be a ball striker's course. You need the control. I definitely think looking into if you have data to go by, look into the back end stuff because there's going to be some stuff that can really catch you if you're not careful. But have a ton of fun. Love signature events. You always get the great golfers are playing. I know not all of them are, but hey, like it's fun to get this course back. It's killer, and there's going to be probably a ton of drama at the end. A lot of ups and downs on Sundays, so it's going to be exciting.
I would say my one piece of advice is make sure you're consistent with round betting. This is going to be one of the best tournaments of the year in terms of consistent round betting because we have all 72 golfers playing all 4 rounds. The weather's going to be good. It's going to be predictable. Make sure you get the Discord. Make sure you tail me in TMD's plays. We should have round 1 stuff somewhere in Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. And as long as there's no delays, which there shouldn't be, we should get round props every single night. Cross our fingers.
Yeah, hopefully. It'll be so important to if we do get greens and reg, which we usually do on Thursday. I feel like Thursday is the day where we'll get it. Or Wednesday night, technically.
Yeah.
And it's just about if they keep it after that.
Well, they better not watch this because otherwise they'll take it off the board because they know we're coming for greens and reg. That has been the turning point for us this year. So thank you all for watching this far. Leave a comment below. A, who do you think had the best draft and why was it Wiz? And 2, who do you have as an outright favorite? Who is somebody maybe we forgot about, someone we didn't mention? Thank you all for watching. Make sure to engage if you enjoy this stuff because me and TMD love making this content. Let's have a great Cadillac championship. We'll catch y'all later, guys.